Om Shanti. Everyone can hear me? I'm visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's start the session. Come into the sitting posture. Keep your back, neck straight, aligned. Relax your body and gently close your eyes. Be aware of your asana, of your posture. Remain in the asana for a few seconds and correct the alignment. Observe your back, your neck, your shoulder. How's your palm? Just observe your alignment and correct with the observation. Now move your attention towards the natural pure breath, which is going in and coming out. Inhale and exhale with awareness. Now, prepare yourself for the 3-time chanting along with Shanti. Take a deep, prolonged inhalation for the Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibration and sensation. Join your both palms. Tap your palm. Place on your eyes. Very slowly while blinking, looking at your palm. Gently open up your eyes with a great smile and say Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So, welcome to the Ayurveda class. So, in previous session, we discussed about the three dosha, and we talked about how the three dosha is connected to the three guna, and three guna, sattva, raja, and tam, how it's prevalent in entire cosmos, and how it's prevalent in entire body. You made of the three dosha, three guna, and this whole cosmos is made of the three guna. So we discussed in detail. Today we're going to talk about the Agni, right? Three dosha is connected with the further Agni. So Agni, half of the thing which I explained, that Agni is basically the function of the Agni in your body is doing the assimilation, absorption of the nutrition and digestion. So if when you feel hungry, it means that there is a Agni. Then maintaining the temperature of your body, that is also the role played by the Agni also. So these are the major function of the Agni. So we talked about the 13 types of the Agni. These are 13 types of Agni in your body. But most important, which we're gonna discuss about it in detail, that is a Jatthar Agni. So I'm gonna share you one today words, which we're gonna discuss about it. So so it's visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So Jatthar Agni, types of the Agni, we have to discuss about it, right? So Agni, basically, I talked about it already in the previous session, that role of the Agni is what? It's like a kitchen. It cook the food in order to absorb by the further, like in order to, absorb by your belly of the stomach, belly of your small intestine, and then later on sent to the each and every tissues of your body and the cell later on, right? So this is the whole procedure. But you cannot directly digest. Cells are not taking the chapati or the vegetables, whatever you are having, chapati, your vegetables, your soup, other fruits, whatever you're taking, it has to be break down in the simplest form so your cells, your tissues, your body tissues can absorb, right? It doesn't become difficult for them to absorb. So for that, this is the whole digestive tract. You have the system which play the role, very important and crucial role in order to break down the food. And for that, you have the certain enzymes in your body, right? For digestion of the protein, you have different enzymes. For digesting the sugar, you have different another kind of enzymes you have for digestion of other kind of minerals and vitamins. That's keep going on, right? So these enzymes, if you want to understand in the scientific language, you can say these enzymes are produced by the Agni. Okay, so that's how you can understand in scientific language, because there's no name of the Jatthar Agni, but enzymes are more closer to the Jatthar Agni, because Jatthar Agni also produce the enzymes in your body which gonna help your system to break down the food. It makes sense. So these enzymes are breaking down the food in the simplest form, so further they can absorb by your small intestine and your tissues and your cells. So if Jatthar Agni would be imbalanced, somehow it's because three dosha is imbalanced. It's connected. Ayurveda talked about the link. Okay, everything is linked together. It's not like allopathy, like they divide your body parts, right? If you have gastrointestinal problems, so you have to go to see the doctor with just have the deeper understanding of the stomach or the small intestine or the large intestine information. If you want to go to the, if you have problems of the reproductive organs, so you have to go to the gynae, right? Or neurological problem, you have to go to the mental doctor or something like that, neurologist. So they divided your body in the different parts. But what happened? Because this division, they don't understand the connection between each and every organs, right? Heart connected with the lungs connected with the heart, even your breath is connected with your stomach, right? Have you seen whenever you become nervous, so your breath becomes short, and then most of the people have the urges of the pee or the poo because there's a link. Many people get indigestion when they become very nervous because there's a link between it. Your mind is connected with the body. So if you have neurological problems, the symptoms would be shown on your body as well. But you are going through the treatment of the problems which is related to the body, but you're not going for the treatment of the mental problems. So this disconnection, when you are not connecting everything together and you are dividing your body organs, then you cannot find the cure. Ayurveda talks about that everything is linked. So three dosha imbalance, so your Agni is imbalance. So if your Vat go imbalance, you have the Vishamagni. If your Pitta go imbalance, you have the Tishna. If your Kapha go imbalance, you have the Mandagni. Okay. When all three are in balance form, you have Samadhi. So now one by one, we're going to understand what are these Agni. So these are four types of the Jatthar Agni prevalent in the human being, right? First is a Visham Agni. Visham, the pronunciation is Visham. Can you see the first Agni is Visham Agni? So Visham Agni, which I have mentioned already written down on the board. Visham, pronunciation is important, right? Visham Agni, it means unstable Agni, unstable, fluctuated Agni. Sometime you are hungry, sometime you are not. Even you feel hungry is because of the Jatthar Agni. Okay, you when you lose the appetite, it shows that your Jatthar Agni is going down. That's why whenever you get the flu, cold, you are not remaining hungry, right? Some problems going on in your body, you lose the appetite if you notice your body signal. Okay, so Visham Agni means unstable Agni or fluctuated Agni. One day you are hungry, another day you won't feel hungry at all. It's prevalent in when Vata go high, when Vata is imbalanced. So especially when Vata imbalance, so even doctor ask what kind of like even the modern doctor also ask how's your appetite. You know, when you go to the doctor, are you hungry? Are you feeling hungry at all or not? They keep asking this question. And Ayurveda is totally, they ask these things. But even the allopathic doctor also gonna ask these questions because your appetite would be different if you have problems, certain kind of problems. So Visham Agni, unstable, and it's prevalent in the Vata. Okay, when Vata is imbalanced. Tishna, the second type of Agni is Tishna. Tishna. So down. Tishna. Tishragni. Tishna Agni. Okay, so understand Tishna Agni is like related to the Pitta. When Pitta is imbalanced, Tishna matlab means high, high Agni. Tishna matlab high. Here Tishna means high, high Jatthar Agni. What we mean by that? So it means if Pitta go imbalance, these people feel more hungry. They every 2 hours, every 1 hour, they want something to eat. They are mostly hungry. The appetite is high. So Tishna Agni is prevalent basically when Pitta go high. And even because of that, they lose the temperament. If they are hungry, they lose the temperament. Basically, hungry. Okay, hangry, which we can call. Hunger increase their temperament. They lose their temperament. So Tishna Agni, they start consuming lots of food. Most of the people think, okay, now it's good, no? It's very good. We can eat everything. My Agni, my Jataragni is very good, no? We can eat everything. But no, consumption, too much consumption or too much, you become the consumer. Like if you get the high electricity bill, just take the example, you have equipments which start using the lots of electricity, and you have to pay lots, big amount of the bill. You don't gonna like that equipment, right? See, even the environment isn't like that kind of people, because you become the biggest burden. You can eat, you're gonna eat everything then. You're consuming a lot but producing less. So that is also not the good. High or unfluctuated one, it's an imbalance. It shows the imbalance. So Teshna Agni, it doesn't mean the people who are eating a lot, they're having the big appetite. So these people considered to be a good, uh, like a good personality, good persona. No, actually they become the good consumer. Even these people, if you take them to the any kind of restaurant somewhere, and they start eating everything, and you have to pay the bill, so you become, oh my god, they're eating a lot and we have to pay everything, because they're consuming a lot and you are not utilizing, and they are not unable to utilize their energy. So consuming the things a lot, it's not the good idea. Even you don't gonna like it, either it's your family member or your friends or anybody else who just want to eat and eat, and you are going to pay the bill for that. That time you don't gonna like those kind of people. You like will eat less and work more. Everybody like this thing, right? Who eat less and work more. So nature also love those kind of people, because we are basically utilizing the nature. Everything is coming from the nature, right? And the food, water, whatever, and we are not paying to the nature. So Teshna Agni people is not good at all. Don't think I'm so good. Our appetite is so great. Okay. Now, third type of the Agni, Manda Agni. The third one, Manda Agni. The pronunciation Manda. Okay, Manda Agni. So Manda Agni means slow. Manda means slow. Very vicious, slow. So their appetite is very slow. If they eat one meal, it's the whole day they would be full, because the Jataragni is slow. Just understand through the example, like when you light the fire, um, like we do the bonfire, right? So bonfire, when we're doing it, and there's a low flame, there's a low fire, right? And you add more wood. So to burn the wood, it will take time, isn't it? Because of the low flame of low fire, because of the low flame of the fire, isn't it? And when there's a high Agni, like a pitta kind of Agni, flame is very high. So flame is very high. So it's gonna consume very quickly all the woods, isn't it? It's gonna come very quickly, consume the big woods very quickly. But if there's a low flame of the fire, you add the wood, it will, whole night it will be gonna burn. And this prevalent in the kapha, when kapha go imbalance. So Mandagni, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So Kapha Agni, Mand Agni is prevalent in the Kapha personality. It's like Kapha go imbalance, then there is a Mand Agni. So Vata, Pitta and Kaph is totally connected with the Jata.
Will they be eating slowly, or will they not having much appetite? Mandakni.
Exactly. They don't have much appetite. Even they feel the hunger, like they are hungry because they love the sugar and fried things. They want to eat a lot because also they invented the habit because in the culture we have the very different kind of eating habit, especially in the Indian culture. We have the habit for eating lot. We feel like if we eat lot, we become more healthy. This is the perception. So they develop the habit in spite of they understanding their body, that whatever the signal is coming through the body, like how there is agni, they are having the appetite or not, they ignore it and they develop the lifestyle. They train their mind like, okay, I have to eat 3 times of meal or multiple times of meal because other people are doing. But understand, your agni is giving you the signal. If you are hungry, then this is the signal that your fire is light, and then this is the time for eating. So kapha having the low appetite, yes, but sometimes kapha people eat lot because they train themselves. It's become their habit of eating it. Are you understanding these two things? Their agni is slow. They might not feel hungry, but because they train themselves, because because of the society train them that they have to eat lot in order to get the fit body or fitness, and they develop the habit of eating. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now come to the fourth type of agni, that is the sama agni. Sama, sam. So pronunciation Sam Agni, Samagni. Sam Agni. Sam Agni means balance, balance Agni, balance form. So this Sam Agni play very important role when you get the balance of the three dosha. This Agni prevalent only when your three dosha go in balanced state, then you have the Sam. Maybe some people get into the balance of the three. It doesn't mean that all the time your all the three dosha gonna imbalance one time another, or sometime vat or pit or kaph. But there's a points, there's a time when all three dosha come into the balance state, and then you have the samagni also, balance fire. It means not unfluctuated agni. Samagni means not fluctuated one, not high one, not slow one, ideal agni, ideal agni. And this is this happen, this state you will get when you follow the path of the yoga, and when you are practicing the Hatha Yoga. Is another many forms, especially the Hatha Yoga. If you are practicing very quickly, you will get the samadhi. Hatha Yoga is basically completely science, the biological development and the physiological development and psychological development of the human being. So Hatha Yoga, that's why it started with the Shat Karma. Shat Karma, the cleansing practice, is working on your Agni. Either it's the Neti Kriya or Vaman Kriya or the Shankrachalan or the other meaning Kriyas, Shatkar Kriyas, all the Shat Kriyas are working on balancing the three dosha. So you can read about more about the Shat Karma. Don't worry about it.
Uh,
It is
um, this Shat Karma, the teachers who goes to go there and learn, will they get learned about Shat Karma? All
you,
these.
you are asking me where you can learn this.
Yeah.
Online could not be possible, and these practices cannot be taught online. Don't watch the videos and start practicing by yourself. You required offline classes under the guidance of the good teacher, good yoga teacher, not instructor, good yoga teacher. Getting it? Not instructor,
Why?
not teacher.
What's the reason for that?
Huh?
What is the reason for that? Like, it's
Because it can be a dangerous practice because you're cleaning your body, and you require the deeper understanding of the shat karma and deeper understanding of the what are the effect on their body, because everyone have the different psychological aspect and the biological limitation. So you have to understand their health problems, everything. And you have to basically, the teacher gonna observe the students when they are teaching these things. So it's not should be, many people are teaching online, but I don't recommend that thing. You have to go through that schools, special days of schools for that. After COVID situation completed, then you have to go there and then practice this Shatkarma. Don't learn from online classes. It can be a dangerous, and the teacher should be have the deeper knowledge of the Shatkarma. Okay, don't
okay.
just go for the yoga instructor or something like that, or one people who are just they know how to do it but they cannot teach. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Knowing how to practice and teaching is completely different. So
Yeah, I've seen, like, using, like, like a rubber band or something, like rubber band like thing to put that inside the nose and taking it out the mouth.
that is only the one thing. There's many things.
So is it like, are they using rubber bands in olden days as well, or just something else?
Not at all. Ancient time they are using the thread for instead of using the rubber. Rubber is modern practice. It's become easy. Earlier is done by the thread. Don't move there. Once you are ready, come to the school and then we can teach you. Offline classes, we teach these things here. So don't worry, whenever you get the time, you can apply offline classes and you can go for that. So, and I'm also here. If you have any problems, we can discuss about it later on. So, but again, be conscious, use your common sense because you can be dangerous. That's why I keep pointing the things. It can be dangerous. But if
Okay.
you use your common sense, it will bring tremendous benefit to you. Okay. So now come back to the topic. So Samagni, we are talking about it, the balanced fire. So now can you see these two words, Vikrit and Avikrit? So Vikrit and Avikrit, Vikrit, Visham Agni, Tishna Agni, and Mand Agni, which is the imbalance Agni. These are the Agni basically prevalent in the Vikrit personality. If we divide the personality into the two parts, Vikrit and Avikrit. Vikrit means imbalanced personality. It means the people who are having sickness, mental issues, psychological issues, many issues, right? Those called Vikrit personality. Avikrit, when they have the balance of the Tridosha, so it means their Agni would be balanced one. So we call Avikrit personality. Very 0.0000001% people are of Vikrit personality. You and me, we all come into the category of the Vikrit personality. Very less, because from Vikrit to Avikrit, you required hard work. Okay, you required very hard work. Lying on your bed having the pizza, pasta, it doesn't mean you will get the healthy body, right? Can you imagine? People think in that way, that just by reducing the fat from their body they consider themselves healthy. But it's not like that, dear. You have to put lots of effort from Vikrit to the Avik. Even many yogis who become the yogis, they daily practicing the yoga, they following the rules and regulation, the law of the nature, and by doing it, they achieve, they reach from Vikrit to the Avikrit state. So it's required the hard work. No matter you are yogi or not yogi, but you can. So nature has given the chance to us. we have the chance. Okay, so we have the choice to go from the Vikrit to the Avikrit state. Even ancient yogis also, they reach from Vikrit to Avikrit, and so these things we can also do. So just you have to follow the rules and regulations. This much is clear.
Durgesh, yeah. Durgesh, when somebody wants to go to, like, or when your tummy is rumbling all the time and they need to go to toilet all the time, so what kind of personalities, like, they feel like vomiting when they, like, they get anxious, things like that?
Don't worry about it. We come to the way right now. Wait for the coming session. We're gonna take all the things. Okay. I'm not gonna kill the surprise here. I know you have many questions related to the personality, what kind of personality that people. In coming session, we're gonna talk about the Sapta Prakriti, where we're gonna talk about the each personality of this planet. Okay. So don't worry about it. Just have patience. Just have patience. Okay. We're
So
gonna
that's nothing to do with this Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
everything is related to the Vata and Pitta Kapha. Okay. But this
Okay.
answer would be, this question would be answered by the coming session. If I'll give you right now the answer, again, I have to take
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
1 to 3 hours classes.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
you're going to understand. So don't worry, have patience. In coming session, this question would be answered automatically. But this much you understand the Agni part?
Yes.
Okay. So,
But another, one more question actually. In Mandagadi, you said, like, they don't have much appetite, but they keep eating loads. So if they keep eating loads, how it's going to get digested?
that's why they have incoming session. We're going to talk about what happened when they are having less appetite and they're eating a lot. So tomorrow is Sunday. Day after tomorrow, we're going to talk about what happened actually. So could you see? I write it down the topic here.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
These things we're going to discuss in coming session. Don't worry about it. But just again, I'm going to say have patience because I don't want to kill your surprise, your curiosity. So write it down this question. Don't worry about it. And just see if it's not answered, then you can ask me. Okay.
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 Durgesh, are you a Ayurveda physician?
Yeah, I am. I
Okay.
am not Ayurveda physician. I'm the yoga therapist. I work as a yoga therapist.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have anything, you can contact me later on.
Yeah, I do. Like, you need to give me like contact number so I can ask you.
Okay, so that's uh, um, in Vinyasa mail ID, you can write it down, but don't worry about it. I think everything would be answered during this session. If let's see what happened. If something is still bothering you, we can find the connection.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's end the session here. Uh, Coming into the sitting posture, keep your back neck straight, align, relax, and gently close your eyes. Keep your palm on the knee and just go into your asana, be in your posture. Observe your alignment. How's your back, your neck, shoulder? Just relax your body. And just connect yourself. Now, move your attention towards deep inhalation and slow exhalation. Inhale and exhale from the belly. Now, prepare yourself for the 3-time chanting along with Shanti. Take a deep breath for the Om. 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 Shanti. 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 Feel the vibration and sensation. Join your both palms. Rub your palms. Place on your eyes. Very slowly while blinking, looking at your palm. Gently open up your eyes with a great smile and say Om Shanti, Om Shanti. So tomorrow is the Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye. Take care. But keep practicing. Don't forget about it. Do the more meditation and meet you at meditation class as well. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Om
Bye.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.